What is up, you guys? This is J-Dos coming at you with another exciting video for today. In today's video, we are back in the kitchen. I'm going to teach you how to make a apple crumble, but I'm going to put my own little twist on it. So, without further ado, get comfy on your couch and let's get straight into it. First, what you want to do is start by peeling all the apples, because skin on apples in an apple crumble isn't the best. And then if you're really good, you should be able to peel the whole apple in one peel. Almost in one peel. Okay, so now all the apples are peeled. Now you can cut these up however you like, but for today, we're going to cut them like this. I'm going to cut like so, around the core. Always remember to put the flat side on the board. If you're going to try and cut on a round side, it's going to roll and you're going to cut yourself. So then you're left with this. You can take it a step further by cutting them like that. But we'll chuck the rest in the bin. All your apples are cut up like this. What we're going to do is cut them in half lengthways and in half again, just into bite-sized pieces, as you probably would get in a can. Now all your apples are roughly diced. You can, as I said, you can cut them how you like. You don't have to have them perfect, as long as they're like roughly cubed. Now this is a point where a lot of you would put them in a baking dish and probably sprinkle some brown sugar on them, cook them for a bit, then make up your flour crumb to put on top. But this is where the twist comes in, and this is what I'm going to do to make these apples taste even better. Over here, this is my poaching liquid that I poached some pears in during the week. Now I've kept the extra. So basically what it is sugar, water, cinnamon, a bit of vanilla, and that's it. This will give these apples the added extra flavour to our crumble. So we're just going to slide them in carefully. Now I've had the pot on, so this will be hot. As we slide the apples in, getting a spoon, just to make sure we get them all nice and covered. Now you want to cook these until the apples become soft, and then they probably change a different colour. So now we're going to poach these for at least 15 minutes or until they become soft. Right, now that our apples are poaching away over there, we're going to start doing the crumble for our apples that go on top. So what you want to do is grab some plain flour. That would roughly be a cup there. As you can see, I'll measure things really accurately. About a cup there of flour. We want about, depends how sweet you would like it. I'm a sweet tooth. That's about half a cup of caster sugar. And grab our butter. You can use pretty much any butter for this. Now that's about 3 teaspoons of softened butter. You could probably go 1.5 dessert spoons of butter. Also do it, because you want to make it like a nice crumb to go on top, but at the same time you don't want to be too buttery. Now what we're going to do is rub the flour and the butter and sugar together like so. Now you want to keep rubbing it until it forms a crumb that you can sprinkle on top of your apples. Right, that looks pretty much perfect. Right, so that's what you want it to look like. You might notice it's a change of colour, like it might be more yellow, and it's a nice crumb. So that's up. We'll set that aside and wait for the apples to cook. Right, so these, only because I've had this hot, it's been boiling for about 8 minutes now, 8 to 10 minutes. Now I've turned it off. These apples still have a little bit of crunch. You don't want them to be too soft and mushy because they're going to be cooking again in the oven. So I'm going to let these sit for a little bit, just let it to absorb the flavour. I'm going to strain it and put the apples into our ramekins with the crumb on top, and then we're going to cook one and we're going to see what it looks like. Right, so what you're going to get is a female spoon. Is one of these spoons that has a holes in it. It's going to help strain some of the juices out of it, like so. And what you want to do is probably half fill these ramekins, or 3/4 fill them, just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of liquid in each one, not too much. because you don't want these to be soggy, but also you don't really want them to dry out in the oven as well. And I keep this, wait till it cools down and reuse it, because poaching liquid doesn't go off, and it's a great thing if you're doing like fruit, like pears, apples, those kind of things. Now for our crumb. We're just going to sprinkle that over. You don't want it to pack it on. You just want to let it just fall out of your hands. And depending on how much you want on it, you don't need a lot. But I just put enough just so it nicely covers it. Just like that. Now I'm going to cook one of these, and I'm going to save the other two for later. And I'm going to show you the end result. Guys, so now the apple crumble has cooked for 10 to 15 minutes. I've probably put a little bit too much liquid in it, so it kind of has stewed a little bit on top, but that is fine. So you can now serve it up with either some ice cream or custard. I have some passion fruit ice cream I still have left, so that's what I eat mine with. And you might want to let this cool down. You don't want to hoe into it and burn your tongue. But that is how simple this one is. So sit down, enjoy it, and hopefully you took a few notes out of this one.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've learned something today, and now you've learned how to make an apple crumble. I know you've probably had your grandma's old recipe, or you've got one of your own, but here's something different you could try. As always, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification button, because there's videos every week, and you don't want to miss them while you're stuck in quarantine. So, as always, this is J-Ross. You guys have been fantastic, and I'm out of here.